Okay, hello guys, a long time no see. Now we are in the CMCO. Okay, I'm sorry I've not been uploading my video as frequently. Okay, been rather busy because now most companies have started to come back, into business. They are allowed to operate again, and same goes with my, day job. So I have to go back to my office already right now. So I may not have that much time, to do more videos as frequent as during the MCO period. But still, I try my best. And today we're going to talk about something that is very basic, and I hope that whatever I share here will be able to help whoever that's interested in their tires. Okay, so we're going to talk about tires, right? So I want to talk about this topic because I've always been a bit of when I get a better car, I want to modify my car, and one of the first thing I want to do is really look into the tires, because tires is not necessarily the cheapest option, but is a good option for you to improve your your car's handling. Okay, so for me, handling beats the speed, so I don't really care so much about the high speed of a car, but I prefer really a good handling car. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about also the industries, their practices, why you see such thing and such, and then when you want to modify your tires, okay, what are the things you should consider. Okay, so let's get started right away. So on a stock vehicle, usually you will see the manufacturers actually they will spec up tires that is more towards the comfort, unless the vehicle is performance vehicles. Otherwise, your daily drive cars, you probably don't get very handling bias kind of tires, but more towards comfort, because that's what people buy car for, right? They want to drive around every day. Yeah, so that's what they're gonna do. So they're gonna spec up tires towards the comfort direction. Okay, and if we look at this vehicle here, this is a MyV, okay, which is my wife's, by the way. Yeah, so I actually got the mid-spec MyV. Okay, so this particular vehicle comes with, if we read here, so you can see on your tires on your vehicle, by the way. So here it says 175 65 R14. Okay, so let me just break down to you what it all means. The 175 actually, it means the okay, so it actually means the width of your tires. Okay, so if you look at here, okay, so it means this, the width itself. Okay, the width of the tires. And then for the 65, basically that means the ratio of the sidewall height in relation to the width of the tires itself. Okay, so the higher your this 175 numbers, okay, if you can see here, that means the wider is your tire. Okay, the wider it is, the wider it is. So if let's say I have a 210, so that will be very, very wide compared to my 175. So what is the advantage of a wider tire? Okay, so you get a better handling, but however, of course, you need to sacrifice on the fuel consumption. So you get better grip, but you lose out on your fuel consumption. So that is also the reason why, if you look at the big brands, okay, where they make really nice cars, focus on the design and all that, you will find that they spec up really, really big rims on the tires. Okay, but when it comes to the width, the width just feels weird on the vehicle. Why? Because they want to make the car as fuel efficient as possible, but they don't want to sacrifice on the design. One example is actually Renault Scenic. Okay, I was looking into this particular vehicle. They actually spec it with 19 to 20 inch rims in the UK. Okay, but the width of the tire is really, really small compared to the vehicle size. Okay, one reason is because they wanted to preserve the beauty of the design, the aesthetics. Okay, so you have very, very big rims, but at the same time they have very, very thin tires, so that this doesn't have high fuel consumption. Okay, so because the wider your tire is, the higher resistance you will face on the road when the tire is rolling. So that's why the engine needs to work really hard just to overcome that kind of friction that they have, the resistance over there. Okay, that's the main reason why thicker tires are more fuel consuming. All right, and then we look at the other numbers. Okay, So the 65 here, right, this really means how thick it is, okay? The smaller the number is, the thinner the sidewall is, okay? This is what we call a sidewall. So the thicker your sidewall, the better it is for comfort, okay? But however, handling will become worse because as your tire is moving, okay, so your sidewall actually will not be just straight. It will take a lot of lateral force, so it will actually flex. So when it flexes, that's where you get the unstable feeling. And then of course this thing does compress as you put load on it, so you will get a lot of body roll as well due to the tire sidewall height. That's why you see on performance car, usually the sidewall is a bit thinner. But then again, of course, having the sidewall thinner also means that smaller means that it's harder also to install the rims, the tires to the rims, okay? So you need more pressure and all that. And of course, if your sidewall is smaller or thinner, okay, your vehicle will be more prone to pothole damages, okay? So example, in Malaysia, we are full of holes on the road, okay? And then if you have a very low profile tire, as what we call that, then the chances of damaging your rim, because there's really not much rubber to absorb any impact at all, okay, will be very high. So if you are wearing a very thin profile tires, you need to watch out, avoid the potholes, like they're gonna take your life, because a cracked rim is never safe, and you need to get it changed immediately. And not only that, if you hit a pothole, right, there's also chances you may damage your tires, okay? So your sidewall might crack, your bead, okay, the part where they sit the tire to the rim may also have some issues, okay? So then you cannot use the tire or the rim anymore, which is very, very costly, okay? And then of course the last thing is that here, okay, you have your, you have R14. So 14 means it's actually a 14 inch rim, okay? So for people who like to mod their vehicle, usually what do you do? The first thing, I myself actually I like increasing the rim size because it looks good, right? Okay, but don't forget, if you increase your rim size, okay, you need to go for thinner profile sometimes, to maintain the overall diameter of your tires, okay, so that your speedometer will not run off. If however you do use the same profile with a larger inch or larger rims, you need to get the shop to recalibrate your speedometer to make sure that when you're running 80, your speedo is showing 80, okay? That's very important, to avoid saman-sa, by the way, okay? All right. And then another thing is that, of course, if you really want to modify your rims, okay, you gotta watch out for a few things. Number one, be prepared for higher fuel consumption if you are using a bigger rims, because definitely it is heavier, okay? Just to make you understand a little bit better, the heavier the rims or the amount of weight that the engine need to move just to get the vehicle rolling, the higher your fuel consumption is, okay? And then if your rims is big, definitely it's gonna be heavier. There's a lot of mass to move before your vehicle can roll, all right? So the engine need to work really hard. And another thing to consider also is that if you are thinking about changing your rims, of course I know there are very cheap rims out there from China that you can get, or maybe some other countries, rather unknown brands, but there is a difference between the branded and the not so branded, in the sense that the weight of the final rim, okay? So maybe you see something that's really nice, maybe from Taiwan or China, okay, but compared to the original, maybe like let's say some branded like these are Race or Koenig, maybe they have done so much study in the materials of the rim itself that the rims, even though maybe let's say they are 17 inch, they could be lighter than maybe your 16 inch, could be, all right? So putting on larger rims, you need to watch out what the brands you want to use, check out the type of manufacturing that they use. At the same time, watch out for your tires, okay? Make sure you put on the right size, don't put on the wrong size, okay? And of course, remember always to do your alignment and all that in due time, okay? So that you can preserve your tire life for longer, okay? And if you are more for the spirited kind of driving, okay, then you just gotta make sure that you know, if you want to swap it up, you know, to have a low profile for a nicer look, or even for a more spirited drive, you can do so. Just gotta watch out for potholes and all that. Okay, and of course, if you are changing your tire size to a bigger one, example, now your overall diameter maybe let's say 1,000, now you're changing to an even bigger one. Okay, rim goes up, your tire size also goes up. Okay, there may be higher wear and tear on your shock absorber as well. Okay, because the shocks have to work so much harder now. There's so much more weight pulling at it, pushing at it. Okay, so that is another thing for you to consider as well. But other than that, you know, I always think that tire upgrade or the rim upgrade is always something very interesting. I for one person who I always you know, like a car with good looking rims, and that is the reason why actually I gotten my Iris 1.6. that time is an executive. Okay, but you will notice that actually I no longer have the original rim itself, because my rims were stolen. Okay, so it happened actually when I was it happened during my wedding. Okay, so I have to park my car somewhere where I have the rented wedding car, you know, and all that. So I parked it by the roadside, and what happened is that when they didn't move it for a few days. So after the whole thing finished up, you know, I need to fetch my in-law back to the train station, I remember, and we discovered 2 of my rims were stolen. So at the time, I have no choice but to get whatever rims available from the shop and just put it on. That's why I have whatever brands here, you know, just put it on my car. So that's also how I found out that, you know, the rims, you know, if it's not of a good brand, you will find that it actually will cause your fuel consumption to go up. Okay, which happened to me. And also, of course, because it's heavier, right, so you can feel the get-go is a little bit like slower compared to the original rim itself, right? Yeah, so that's the story how actually my rim got stolen. But still, however, I do like the looks of my current rim right now, and hopefully in the future when I get my 86, okay, I want to, you know, swap it up to some really lightweight rims. Okay, yeah, so yep, I think that's all I have to share for today. Just a very short video. Okay, so guys, if you have not subscribed to Tans and Speed, please do so. Okay, I know a lot of you have watched the video. Thank you very much for that, but we need your subscribe as well. All right, so that we can generate more interesting content for you. So if you like this video, please like, share. Okay, if you don't like it, at least share for me. Okay, there may be somebody who will like our video. Thank you very much, and see you again next time.